I am so excited. I just opened the mail and see these two Oracle card decks. This one is in Japanese. We just got the new Spirit Animal Oracle from Japan. And also the Mystical Shaman is now in Czechoslovakian. If you are Japanese or you're Czechoslovakian, if you leave a comment below, my team will get to you and we're gonna mail you these. That's exciting. I don't think they're published yet. Leave a comment below, let us know, and we'll send you them. So come with me, we're gonna go to my closet where there's a few of these foreign decks in there. These are just in the past few months. Look, Korean, Japanese, German, Norwegian, Finnish. My decks are now published in 27 languages, just like my books. So this is very exciting. So you'll notice my bookshelf behind me. I have more in my room, but this is 1/10 of the books that I accumulated. But I want to show you one of my most favorite books on abundance. This is a Seth book. I don't know if any of you guys have ever read the Seth books. They were written in the early 70s. And this was really the first channeled, kind of like Abraham Hicks, Esther Hicks and Abraham. Jane Roberts and Seth was a very similar experience. So she had a series of a number of books that if you're interested, look up the Seth books, S-E-T-H, and you'll see tons of them on Amazon, and really worth reading. Really intelligent, interesting content that we actually see over and over again brought to us now in a more contemporary channelers and New Age or New Thought books. But this particular book is about the roles dream play in the creation of language and technology. It's so interesting. How creativity provides the link with the source of all existence. So it talks about co-creation and manifesting in a co-creative way in partnership with the universe, which is what I teach. And a lot of my teachings have come from the influences that I have from reading and researching books like this. So it's so interesting. They talk about the true power of the imagination and the importance of broadening its scope. Seriously, if anybody is interested in how we create reality, this book called Dreams, Evolution, and Value Fulfillment. And there's one statement in this book that I love, and it says, value fulfillment is the yearning to enhance the quality of life as a fundamental desire in all life forms. Isn't that interesting? So we're going to read that again. Value fulfillment, the yearning to enhance the quality of life that is fundamental in all life forms. So this tells us that our dreams and our desires and everything that we want to see manifest in the outer world is part of that desire for value fulfillment. And it's an innate thing that if we turn on that partnership, the co-creative partnership between us and the universe, amazing things can happen. And that's of course why I started creating Oracle cards. So if you think of value fulfillment as something that we all yearn for, that is inherent to all of us, all of life, and we connect to our co-creative partnership of spirit, which is what I teach. And everything that I teach has been influenced by what I've learned from others, right? So I just didn't wake up one day. I didn't channel an entity like Seth. I read about Seth. But it's so fascinating when you think about it, when you think about that we are all meant to be co-creative, manifesting partners with spirit or the universe or whatever the language you use is to speak about your higher power. And that's one of the reasons that I got involved with Oracle cards, is that they are a tracking device for our value fulfillment. Isn't that fascinating? Anyway, go get this book. If it interests you at all, it's called Dreams, Evolution, and Value Fulfillment. Jane Roberts is the author, and she's the one who channeled Seth. Okay, see you next time. Hey everybody, it's Colette Baron-Reid. This is the week of August the 19th, and I have tested a new way to do readings. So I'm going to jump right in because it's going to be different. I want you to pay attention. I would like you first, before we look at the universal energy forecast, to pick a number between 1 and 6. And just write it down now. Just go, ooh, I pick number 2, or whatever. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. That number is going to correspond to the card that is going to be that number's card. And so that's going to be your overarching theme for the week. So pay attention and try and stay with me right till the end, because everything is going to make sense at that moment. So let's begin. Now, I'm right in the middle of getting ready for Oracle School, so of course we're going to use Wisdom of the Oracle, which is the deck that I teach with. And we're going to tell the story. I'm going to read the 6 cards, 3 across and 3 across. Then I'm going to read them up and down, up and down, up and down. Then I'm going to choose a Crystal Spirits card. And by the way, thank you for all the great reviews and all the letters coming in. And just such a beautiful, beautiful response to the Crystal Spirits Oracle cards. I'm so happy. Okay, let's go. Now, the first card, card number 1, in case you picked the card number 1, is Imagine. So I love this for the anchor card for the entire week, because it tells us that whatever that we can think about or imagine, and certainly if we are consistent about that imagination, we can create that in the outer world. So this is really about monitoring our thoughts and using them in the most creative way to creatively visualize what you really want. So don't be like catastrophizing. This isn't the time for you to be looking at this card and going, or not even the card, but like using it to say, oh my God, the world sucks. It's all so bad, blah, blah, blah. No, this is focus on your desire. Focus on the outcome of your intentions. Focus on the good in the world. There's so much good in the world. There's more good in the world than there is the crap that we see in the news. And that is true. So we want to focus our attention on using our imagination in the right way, in partnership with Spirit, to imagine a better world for yourself, seeing your intentions come to fruition, and all your creative output coming to something that's really good. All right, so that's card number 1. Card number 2 follows card number 1. So if you've picked card number 2, this is your theme, mending, for this week. So if you picked card number 2 is mending. So that would be your overarching theme for the week. Then we have the universal theme. Then if you go to my website, ColetteBaronReid.com/pick, you can pick any one of my decks. And then you can pick 3 more cards. That way you'll have 10. And you'll really get an amazing story. And then you'll look back on it and go, whoa, because that is what everybody does. All right, so card number 2 is mending. Now, this has come up a lot over the past couple of months. This card has been very consistently asking us to keep in mind, to release our resentments, and to see ourselves as whole, as worthy, and others the same way, letting go of any of the old hurts and wounds that are repressed or unresolved. I mean, sometimes you just can't resolve certain things, and you have to let them go. So this is really about that surrendering and letting go in order for things in your life and for relationships to be mended. So this is a beautiful card to remind you that everything is whole, always and already. So we might feel that it's broken, but maybe, I think that wabi-sabi image of, like, it's a Japanese term for when they put a broken piece of pottery is healed with a vein of gold. And so you see something that doesn't look perfect, but it's beautiful. And so that's how we want to look at that this week, is using our imagination. Nothing needs to be perfect, but really also sending beauty and love and good thoughts and love, even to the people who piss us off, right? So that's really kind of key, is to like release all your tension and your anxiety and your anger and your fear, etc., and see the world as beautiful. Be willing to make amends, see things as healed between you and others, and even in your body and yourself, that we see the world through the lens of wholeness and worthiness. Okay, so that's that one, card number 2. Card number 3 is Here and Now. So if you picked card number 3, you picked the number 3, your focus is going to be on staying present in the 24 hours. So let's say that you have Imagine, you have mending, then you have Here and Now. So it's all about reminding us that everything is pertinent to the moment that you're in. And so if you are running a program of thought in your head that is about resentment, or that is about, negative things, you're gonna see that. You're gonna actually look for that, because there is something in our brain called the reticular activating system of the brain, whose perfect job is to make our eyeballs look for confirmation and evidence that that more challenging viewpoint is true, okay? So we want to change that, turn that frown upside down. We want to recognize that in the moment, we have a choice. In this moment, we don't have to look to the long story of the past and say, oh, well, that happened and that happened and that happened and that happened. Therefore, we should be worried about this happening and this happening and this happening. It's like these two awful eternities, as they say in 12-step programs. You know, you look to the past, it's with all the problems and the things that were unresolved. You look to the future with, large promise, poor performance. Instead, we want to stay in 24 hours. We really want to look at everything that we do right now, because the future is created in the now. The seeds you plant with that first card, imagine, and that second card, which is to also pull the weeds out of your garden. Imagine we're talking about a field of dreams. Then all of a sudden you're saying, like, right now, we don't wait till later. This is all about living in the moment, living very present, and being very grateful for what is, and reminding ourselves that we are planting seeds in a garden. We are weeding that garden, and we can't expect anything to happen overnight. We don't go into the potato patch, for example, because those are tubers, they're under the ground, looking at it going, when are they going to be potatoes? And then we dig them out and they're not ready, right? So that's not what we're doing. We're just saying we trust, and then we're going to chop wood, carry water, live in the now to the best of our ability without the burdens of the stories that we tell ourselves about our wounds, okay? Puppy break. Coco, you have something to say to them? Yes. Okay, so when you subscribe to my channel, you will click the button and then up will come a little bell. And if you click on that bell, YouTube will send you notifications every week to remind you to take a look at the video. Okay, let's go back to the reading. Right? You tired? Now, card number 4, if you pick the number 4, so we read 3 at the top and then 3 across, is a leg up. I love this card because it says you don't have to do this alone. That a leg up is all about getting help. You do not need to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. That if you reach out for help, help will be there. I find oracle cards. Now, I always focus on oracle cards, and the 2 boxes that I like to tick off is 1, of course, you can do a reading and look at something and see how it's in motion. But this one is really about personal growth. So how do we change our reality? How do we use the right use of imagination? How do we, get into that forgiveness mindset, staying in the now? Well, go get some help, right? So if you don't know, pick a card, and the card will usually reflect psychologically on what you need to address and how. And so here, we don't do this alone. So we can expect help, and help will come. Now we're looking at card number 5, and card number 5 is regeneration. So we've had the card before talks about a leg up, meaning that we've gotten some help. And so what I love to see when this card shows up, it's like, right, what has been lying dormant? What hasn't actually occurred yet or happened? What have I not addressed? And what needs to be reborn in me? Because regeneration talks about the fact that, let's say, for example, you've pruned a tree and you've taken off the dead branch, which is really what we're trying to do when we're working in this personal growth world, and we're saying, okay, I want to change, I want a better life, etc. Well, you have to make some changes. And so then that enables new growth to happen, and growth will come out of that which had died before. It's like this spark of beauty comes up again and says, I want to be reborn now in a better form, in a healthier form, in a stronger form. And so that's what regeneration reminds us of too, that you don't do it alone, and you can expect amazing things. The things that you thought were done, or that, even relationships, for example, if you've made amends, etc., you thought, oh man, that's never going to change, it's not going to be good. And then all of a sudden, something reborn, as something beautiful can come of a different type of interaction. And if you look at this more generally with you and the whole world, so it's like, who am I in the world? Why am I here? What's my purpose? And if I'm here to be co-creative, in other words, being in partnership with the universe, so that I can provide a gift to the law of reciprocity. I'm giving people a part of me. I'm shining this not for my ego, but because I am bringing a revelation to the world, or something that I've had an epiphany on, or just sharing your experience, strength, and hope with other people, bingo, then everything starts to grow again after a period where you thought things were lost. And that's really key to remember, that nothing is ever lost and nothing is ever broken and nothing is ever wasted. That's what this talks about. So that's card number 5 if you picked the number 5. Now the last card in this sequence of 6 is time to go. I love this card. You can only stay in one place for so long. You have to keep moving. And so if you look at this line of the way I've done the reading, like card number 1 was imagine, card number 2 was mending, card number 3 is here and now, card number 4 is a leg up, card number 5 was regeneration. There's a whole story in here about, like allowing a new beginning, because that's what regeneration reminds us. Like, if I keep going through the same pattern, doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result, nothing is going to change. But if I allow for the change, then I have to leave, right? You don't want to stay in the same pattern, in the same place. And you need to be discerning about what you are going to leave behind. And what we're invited to do this week is to determine what is it that we're going to leave behind. We've just been through this whole full moon in Aquarius, and that's always illuminating both the beauty of the service, of course, because that's the full moon in Aquarius. Aquarius is all about groups, service, right use of intellect, right use of imagination too. The leader it's in Leo, so that's the leader. So all of a sudden now you've got, if in order for me to serve, I've got to take those old stories and stop living them. I can share them in a way if it's working as a teaching tool, but if you want to go somewhere new, you want to experience new things. And so you have to let go of the old. What is it in Marie Kondo? I just love that woman when she says, if it doesn't spark joy, yeah, that's really important. Does it spark joy? I love that. So here's where we land. Now let's do things a little different. Okay, so you have your 6 cards. You know that they tell a story in motion, and they're our story. This is the collective story. Now let's break it up. If you take the 2 cards on the left, you're looking at imagine and a leg up together, right? These cards go together. So now we have a little bit more insight because we're going, right, what do I think about help? Do I think I'm the only one that can do this? No one else can do this. So I'm not going to let anybody in. Or do we say, oh, no one's ever going to come and help me. It's just not going to happen. It never worked in the past. Or can we imagine that, in fact, we're never alone and that help will always be there for us if we surrender our need to control, right? So that's about, I'm going to turn it over. I'm going to surrender this to my higher power, and I'm going to find some results that way. Okay, now let's go to the next couple. So that was card number 1 with card number 4. Mending is with regeneration. And I love this. I have had a situation when I had a reconnection to a friend that we were on the odds. We were on the outs for a little while. We didn't agree on some things. And we were both big personalities. And so our lack of agreement severed the friendship temporarily. I reached out and said, hey, let's work this out. Let's really talk it out, whatever. And she didn't want to. And then we did. And now we're the best of friends. Like, I am talking so close because we were willing to go to the scary place, which is, okay, let's admit our part in these things. Let's really talk about both of us and where the judgment came in, where the fear came in, where the sense of lack came in, where the unworthiness came in, all of those kind of things, and where the hurt really lay. And we weren't afraid to go look. And as a result, the regeneration was so beautiful. And that's what I hope for you guys. If there's anybody in your life that you want to reach out to and say, hey, let's make amends. Let's rebuild this bridge. Let's really do that. And I really believe it can be done for anything. It doesn't, even the worst possible things, we can find healing. And that's what this is also reminding us. This is possible. Okay. Last but not least, these last 2 cards together are time, here and now, and time to go. So it's like, leave the past behind. The past is a guidepost. It's not a hitching post. You don't hitch yourself up to your past. And I know so many people that do that. Oh, well, this pattern is all I know. It's what's familiar. It's my comfort zone, even if it's crappy, right? I just know what this is. I know what this is. And so this is saying, no, no, no. If you're living in the now, everything is new. The way you can respond to life is very, very different than if you are reacting from a previous response reaction that's actually living in your body. If you have like real trauma, for example, somatic healing, things like that, like you go for help for that because it's like, okay, wow, this is still in my body. I have a memory that comes up in my body because the body stores information. It's like, ooh, this isn't safe. This is new. We don't know what it is. So it's asking us to say, okay, we have to trust. We have to trust our relationship to spirit, that when we step into something that's better or that's new, we have to trust. And we don't have to go on the whole journey in the first hour. Okay? We stay in the day. We stay in the 24 hours. We make baby steps. It's baby steps. Like the big leaps come with lots and lots of baby steps. And then one day it's like, where did I just come from? And where I am now, it's amazing. This is really about the epiphanies that we have when we slow down and we stay in the day. We wake up in the morning in gratitude. We go to sleep at night in gratitude. And we do our best between waking and sleeping. And you put a few of those 24 hours together, you have this kind of emotional sobriety that is so creative and so amazing. And when you practice your spiritual connection to your higher power, God, goddess, whatever the name is, source, divine matrix, I don't care the language. You're on the path of healing, and you're on the path of worthiness, and you are on an adventure. And I really believe that the adventure is the thing that counts. Okay, now to top all this off, we have one card from the Crystal Spirits deck. Okay, so one card. I'm gonna go get it. So I picked this earlier, and I love the look of this card. Come and take a look. So rhodonite. So just so you all know too, the reason why there are faces in every single crystal, it's because the deck is called the Crystal Spirits Oracle. So it's the personalities and spirit, the presiding spirit or residing spirit of each of the crystals that show up in a face. Kind of similar to what we did with Wisdom of the Oracle, showing that there was an oracle in every card. So you'll notice like there's a face in there, and that's done on purpose. And the cards are actually really super easy to shuffle. They are not thinner cardstock. They're just not coated. So just to be aware when you use them. So rhodonite is really about, the main topic of rhodonite is we're all in this together. This is all about harmony in relationships, the harmonious relationships, how people show up in our lives. Like the universe works through people, and they will show up. That beautiful card about a leg up. You meet the right person at the right time that offers you something, or you overhear something and you go, oh yeah, or you hear something on the radio, or you take a course online. I'm going to read it to you. Harmony in relationships, easily connecting with others, generosity, reciprocity, and I said the law of reciprocity earlier, discovering hidden talents to share with others. Relationships help us reach our destiny and discover our purpose, and people will come into our lives to be our angels on the earth, offering love, encouragement. I thought it said entertainment. I don't have my glasses on. Why would I write entertainment? I didn't, that's why. Encouragement and resources for building the lives we want for ourselves, right? We do this together with others. Now is the time to connect to others in a spirit of generosity, which is what I do for you every week. For Rhodonite Spirit is here to help you form healthy partnerships that benefit everyone. Allies can be invisible or come in unexpected guises. So keep your eyes open. Listen to that little voice inside, nudging you to reach out and extend a hand to someone you feel a connection to. This person might have invaluable ideas or solutions to offer you, or be the inspiration that helps you to find the courage to move into unfamiliar territory. Remember, we're going to all get into unfamiliar territory at the end of this reading, or we're invited to. We may not go, but we'll be sad if we don't. Anyway, and you can express gifts that you may not have known you had. The conscious universe works through people. So think about connecting today, if not to an old friend or someone you love, then to someone you've been too shy to approach. Heal the belief that you should do it all by yourself. We're in this together. We are meant to work in partnership, exchanging our gifts to better the whole world. All right, everybody. I hope you have loved this as much as I've loved doing it. We are back, obviously, in my house. More of those fun videos coming. We just didn't have time this week. So if you like this video, well, share the video with your friends and subscribe to my channel because my channel is awesome. And, you know, if anybody loves these kind of readings, remember we mixed it up. Pick that number between 1 and 6. Go to my website, ColetteBaronReid.com/pick. Check out all my Oracle card decks. You have the Goddess deck, Crystal Spirits deck is there. If you haven't got it yet, you can try it out for free. Wisdom of the Oracle, Spirit Animal, and Mystical Shaman. Those are all available for you for free on my website to check them out. All right, we'll see you next week.